can't take it anymore. I can't take it anymore. Sometimes I sleep and I wonder, like, yo, this is not normal.
Offset is out here acting wild again, crashing out hard because Cardi and Stefon just got engaged, and he is clearly not cool with it at all. People really thought he would take the hit quietly and step back, but he pulled up with more noise like he had something to prove. Right after Cardi welcomed her baby with Stefon, Offset jumped right into the mix again, stirring drama like it was his main hustle. Folks were saying Cardi was dealing with heavy stress after giving birth, and instead of giving her space, he popped up making things louder than they needed to be. Now people close to the situation are saying Cardi is over the chaos, and she might be ready to shut everything down in a way that could shake the whole scene. Word on the streets is that Cardi has receipts she's been holding on Offset, and if she ever decides to drop them, the internet would freeze up instantly. There's even a wild, unverified rumor floating around the blogs claiming he was mixed up in situations with Quavo, and the streets have been running with that story even though nothing has ever been proven. Cardi is supposedly sitting on info that could flip the whole narrative, and Offset might want to chill because she is not playing with him anymore. At this point, it looks like Offset keeps making it his mission to complicate Cardi's life every time she tries to level up. Every moment there's some fresh drama, some sudden move, or a shade-filled moment that makes it clear he can't stand seeing her move forward without him. Cardi isn't just moving on, she's glowing for real, building her family, securing an engagement, and living in straight-up peace while the internet watches every move she makes. She's stepping forward with calm energy, and it shows. And remember when Offset said, "Everybody can see I don't want you, it's okay, I'm not talking about this no more, all love," like he was completely unbothered? He delivered that line like he was cool, calm, and over it, but look at him now! He's out here loud, restless, and reacting to everything like he can't help himself. This whole situation is about to turn wild because Offset swore up and down, "You'll be calling me after a couple months, you my BM," acting like he still had a real shot. But the truth is, he didn't win anything, and it's clear Cardi is the one leveling up. She has a new partner, a new baby, and zero plans to look back at the past. Now, some fans are giving Stefon a side-eye because a few voices online are pushing this claim that he's basically Offset 2.0, but that's a whole separate conversation for another time. Right now, the real storm is the buzz flying around about Stefon and Cardi getting engaged, and people cannot stop talking about it at all. Cardi announced the birth of her first child with Stefon just a couple days ago, and the internet caught every detail within seconds. Fans with sharp eyes immediately noticed that shiny ring sitting on the finger, her left ring finger, and it was sparkling so hard it looked like it had its own message to deliver. The moment people saw that diamond, the timeline exploded with comments saying, "He really went and put a ring on it." Social media went into full meltdown mode, with folks talking weddings, blending families, and Cardi stepping into a whole new chapter with her chest out. But then Cardi's team tried to cool everything down by telling TMZ the ring was not an engagement ring, which only made fans louder because they weren't buying it at all. One thing people know about Miss Cardi is that she is elite at keeping her personal world locked tight until she feels ready to open that door. We didn't even know she and Offset were married for months, and we didn't see any official pictures until a whole year later. Cardi knows how to move in silence when she wants to, and her whole situation with Stefon has been low-key from the very beginning. These two went out of their way to keep everything quiet, so of course fans think this Rena's carrying way more meaning than her team is willing to admit right now. This whole situation is starting to look real interesting, and the only reason any of this even hit the public is because Offset got deep in his feelings and slipped up big time. He went talking too much and ended up leaking everything to DJ Academics, someone who's been tossing shade at Cardi for years. That move alone had people shaking their heads like here he goes causing more mess again. Around that time, a so-called source started pushing this unverified claim that Cardi was having an affair with 30-year-old Stefon Diggs while she was pregnant, and that Offset supposedly found out after going through her phone. None of this was ever confirmed, but the internet ran with it like it was a whole plot twist. This source also claimed he saw photos and private messages where she was talking about reconnecting with Stefon in a personal way, but again, nothing solid ever backed that up. Instead of handling the situation calmly, Offset allegedly passed all this unverified tea straight to academics, and that's when everything exploded online. Then the chatter got even messier because people started dragging Stefon's brothers, Dion and Trayvon, saying they're always linked to Instagram models and already have kids, trying to twist that into some story like Cardi supposedly found herself another Offset. Folks were spinning narratives left and right, even though none of it was confirmed by Cardi or Stefon at all. People online always stretch things, but when it comes to Offset, everybody already knew he wasn't about to handle Cardi's engagement news calmly. The moment folks started whispering that she might be leveling up with a new man, you could almost feel the tension rising like a storm was coming. Now insiders are speaking up, saying the situation is way messier than anybody expected. Word on the streets is that Offset is so stressed and so bothered that he's allegedly refusing to sign the divorce papers, basically stalling the whole process on purpose. It's giving full-blown chaos because if the paperwork isn't done, Cardi can't legally marry Stefon yet, and that twist alone has the internet buzzing. As wild as it sounds, it's not shocking at all, especially since Cardi already told everyone weeks ago that Offset has been making the divorce as difficult as possible just to punish her for moving forward with her life. So imagine how much louder things have gotten now that she's engaged to someone else. This situation is operating on a whole new level of drama. His strange tweet about Cardi and Stefon's baby suddenly makes more sense too. Under Georgia law, Offset can still be listed as the legal father simply because he and Cardi are technically still married. And that detail threw gasoline on the conversation instantly. He knows exactly how the rule works, and the way he acted made it look like he was getting ready to flip that detail into some kind of weapon against her. But once the internet dragged him nonstop, he deleted the post quick and tried to play it off like the whole message was fake. Even after that, it didn't look like he stopped stirring things up behind the scenes at all. And then Cardi finally spoke up with a message that shocked everyone. She wrote, "Y'all be thinking it's funny, and it's not. It's been over a year, and I'm still being harassed and threatened to the point that I feel like my life in danger. It's all fun and games until it's too late." That statement had people seriously worried because it sounded like things were way heavier than fans even realized. Then she said she had receipts that could embarrass him badly, and she warned that some people do anything for attention, and things could get real messy with one upload, ending it with, "Leave me alone." That had the whole internet watching closely because she made it clear she's done with the games and ready to protect herself if she has to. And honestly, this isn't even the first time Cardi hinted at how Offset has been moving. She's been dropping clues for a long time, and now everything is finally lining up in front of everybody. Cardi said he's been doing slick little things just to bother her, and every time she calls him out online, he tries to twist the story and make her look like she's the problem. That pattern would stress anybody out, and she revealed his behavior has been giving her real anxiety, which is the last thing anyone needs, especially during pregnancy. And the way he's been acting, you'd think she was the one who stepped out during the marriage, not him. His whole vibe is loud, emotional, and all over the place, almost like he's trying to rewrite the entire history of their relationship or something. But Cardi looks ready to match that same energy, and she's not backing down at all. That tweet where she hinted she had dirt on him, the streets are buzzing heavy, saying she might finally be ready to drop those receipts. And the internet is already holding its breath. Word is she's about to expose him for allegedly having private situations with Quavo, claims that have never been confirmed but are spreading fast online. And yes, the name floating around is allegedly PR, which sent the internet into full shock instantly. Folks are yelling all kinds of theories, trying to drag Quavo into Offset's drama, even though none of this came from Cardi directly. But before anybody starts throwing around wild accusations, relax, because people calling it incest clearly don't understand the situation. Offset and Quavo always called each other play cousins, but they were never actually blood related.
We stand on real deal loyalty. And, sometimes that shit ain't displayed. And this ain't got nothing to do with no label, no paperwork, no QC, no nothing. This got something to do with the three brothers. And shit, that is what it is. Right now, we gonna be the duo till time tells.
It's one of those neighborhood things where you grow up around someone forever. The families stay tight, and next thing you know, everybody is calling each other cousins, even though there's no real DNA connection at all. This next chapter is about to get spicy because the storyline is messy from every angle, and the internet is getting louder by the minute. Last year, Offset even cleared everything up himself. He said Quavo and Takeoff were never related to him by blood in any way. In an interview, he explained that he met Quavo and the third Migos member when they were young teens, and they started hanging out heavy early on, building that bond that eventually turned into Migos. Quavo was Takeoff's uncle, but their age gap was small, so they basically grew up side by side like brothers in the same circle. This whole situation is turning into a wild mix of old connections, new rumors, and everybody trying to figure out what's real before Cardi decides whether she's dropping those receipts or not. And even though people always called Offset Quavo's cousin, it was just a title, not actual family ties at all. Still, it looks wild when their names keep getting linked to the same women, and the situation stays messy even without that incest talk folks tried to force online. Last year, when Offset was getting dragged for allegedly getting his side connection PR pregnant, things got even crazier once that video dropped showing Quavo and PR having a little moment together, and the internet went straight into detective mode instantly. The whole scene looked like one giant tangled storyline, and people started digging like they were solving a crime. And apparently, the drama runs way deeper than anybody realized, because word on the street is that situations like this are what really sparked the Migos breakup in the first place, especially after all that drama involving Sweetie. For the longest time, Offset and Quavo kept their mouths shut about the real issue, which left everybody confused and trying to piece things together. Most people assumed Offset was beefing with both Quavo and Takeoff, but insiders kept saying the real tension was mainly between Offset and Quavo, and Takeoff just got caught in the middle trying to stay neutral and keep the peace. This situation has layers on layers, and you could tell something serious was going on just by watching their social media moves. Offset and Cardi both unfollowed Quavo, and Quavo hit that unfollow button right back with zero hesitation, like he had already made up his mind. But Takeoff? He kept following Offset and Cardi the whole time, showing clearly he didn't want to be part of the drama and was doing everything he could to stay out of the conflict. He always moved calm, even when everyone around him was clashing. Then in the interviews Quavo and Takeoff did before Takeoff passed, they basically confirmed the real tension was between Quavo and Offset, not the whole group. Takeoff was only in the middle because he was connected to both of them, but he wasn't pushing any beef. He just didn't want to choose sides at all. And when Takeoff finally spoke on it, you could hear the truth in his voice. He stood with Quavo because that was his actual family, but he still wanted things cool with Offset too. He wasn't built for messy drama. He was the calm one, the peacekeeper, even when everything around him was getting loud and complicated. At first, everybody assumed the Migos breakup had something to do with Offset trying to leave quality control or maybe some big money disagreement. But Quavo later made it clear it wasn't about labels or cash, it was about loyalty. And that's when sources started whispering behind the scenes, making the whole situation sound way deeper than anyone realized. So, the rumor floating around was that Quavo allegedly found out Offset and EI had something going on behind him without him knowing, and that's what really set things off. And remember earlier when I mentioned the story about Quavo supposedly getting heated because Offset and EI were involved without him being aware? Well, the streets kept repeating that same unverified claim nonstop. People online were also saying Quavo and EI allegedly had a very open, very free-spirited setup back when they were together, but only with clear rules. And according to the chatter, Offset being mixed into that situation without Quavo knowing crossed a line that wasn't supposed to be touched. Folks claimed the three of them used to get adventurous only when everybody agreed beforehand, and anything outside of that was seen as a betrayal. The whole narrative turned into layers of loyalty, friendship, boundaries, and old history. Messy from every angle, and the internet couldn't stop trying to piece the whole puzzle together. That's where the whole loyalty issue came crashing in. Quavo felt blindsided, and once that trust cracked, everything around them started falling apart fast. Him feeling played like that flipped the entire Migos world upside down, and after that moment, every little move started looking suspicious. People close to them were saying the tension in the studio got so heavy you could cut it with a knife. Offset tried to act like nothing happened, but Quavo wasn't letting anything slide anymore. And the wild part is, nobody outside their circle had any idea what was really happening at the time. Fans were just watching strange posts online, shady captions, stiff interviews, and that awkward switch in energy. Anytime the Migos name came up, it felt like watching a storm build in slow motion. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, things were getting even more tangled. Folks claimed normal conversations turned into heated arguments, loyalty started getting questioned, and old issues they never dealt with finally bubbled back up to the surface. That's when Takeoff stepped in trying to bring the peace like he always did, but even he couldn't fix something that deep once the trust was gone.
Then people started saying the situation with Sweetie wasn't the only crack in the law. There were other moments where Offset was moving in ways Quavo didn't like long before that rumor ever hit the internet. So when people online started pushing claims about Offset and Sweetie, it became the final straw that snapped everything clean in half.
And the wildest part, insiders were saying Quavo wasn't even mad about the situation itself. It wasn't about the person, it was about the principle, the respect, the loyalty, the code he felt got broken. And once that line was crossed, nothing felt the same anymore, no matter how much they tried to act normal in public. He was upset because it all went down without him knowing, and their whole bond used to be built on straight honesty, even when things got messy. After that moment, the vibe between them reportedly changed overnight. They stopped showing up to events together, the group chats went silent, and everyone in their circle could feel something was off. So when the breakup finally became official, it wasn't shocking. It was just sad because the real story behind it was way heavier than what the public believed. And now with all this old drama getting dragged back up thanks to the mess between Cardi and Offset, people are connecting dots all over again and things keep getting wilder. This even puts Quavo's line in Messy into a whole new light. When he said, "Be with my dog behind my back, but I ain't stressing. He wasn't the gang, you should have said it, we would have blessed it." Everybody was confused for the longest. Folks kept asking what he meant by saying Sweetie wasn't gang and how they would have blessed it. But now it's looking like the answer was sitting right in front of us the whole time. We just never put the pieces together until now, and everything is starting to make way more sense. And with Cardi looking ready to spill every bit of tea she's been holding on to, Offset better tighten up because things might get chaotic for him fast. Cardi is done letting him twist the narrative. She's done letting him drag her, sneak shade at her, or try to play victim in the spotlight. Those tables flipped fast, and now all eyes are on what she does next. Cardi is glowing heavy now, new man, new baby, and a whole new life while he's out here spinning in circles. She's sitting on receipts that could shake the entire internet if she ever decides to drop them. We're talking unverified claims about wild nights, old secrets, and hidden drama, the kind of stuff that makes people freeze mid-scroll like, wait, what? Offset tried hard to shape the story his way, but now Cardi looks ready to show everyone exactly what she's been dealing with behind the scenes. And let's be real, this isn't the kind of tea that stays warm at all. This is the type that explodes the second it hits the timeline. If Cardi drops even one screenshot, the whole industry will be scrambling trying to figure out what's real and who's connected to what. So get comfortable, grab your snacks, and lock in because the next chapter in this saga is about to get wild. Offset is finally about to see what happens when you push the wrong person too far, and Cardi looks more than ready to prove she is not the one to test. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, and drop a comment below. Tell me what you think about this whole situation, and I'll catch you in the next video.